Thank you, Madam Chair and trustees. So this evening, I have several items I'd like to discuss with the board. But first, I want to talk about proposed policy 3281, gender identity and sexual orientation. We're going to take a pause on this policy, and I want to explain why. So first off, it is a proposed policy. It's kind of like in baseball, it was in the minor leagues. Right, it was a minor league and it hadn't been pulled up into the major leagues, but it was something that we were considering and looking at and asking for public input on. I have since learned that I've had legislators reach out and others reach out to say the state is willing to have discussions regarding this, and there's possible legislation being proposed. And with that, Madam Chair, I'd like to defer some time to Representative Brent Crane.
Okay. Yes, Representative Crane, if you may take the podium.
Thank you, Madam Chairman and members of the school board. My name is Brent Crane, a state representative from District 13 in Nampa. I want you guys to be aware that this issue has come to the legislature, and I want to bring you up to speed as to what is going on in the legislative process, Madam Chair. Today, the Senate Education Committee introduced legislation to deal with this issue that you guys have been wrestling with as a school board. It's not a unique issue to Caldwell School Board. It's an issue that we are facing, for other school boards are facing across the state of Idaho. And so because of that, the legislature felt like that they needed to provide some clarity and put some parameters around this issue. So there was legislation that would deal with the issue of how to handle bathrooms, locker rooms, changing rooms, stuff like that in school districts. That legislation was just the first phase, which we call the print hearing. That passed unanimously out of committee today. They will schedule that for a full hearing in the Senate. I do not anticipate that it will have any issues in the Senate. It will then come to the House of Representatives, where it will, I don't believe there will be issues in the House of Representatives, and then on to the governor's desk for signature. So we believe that this issue will be dealt with, that legislation will be passed and provide guidance to districts of how to deal with these complex issues as they move forward. So if there's any questions, Madam Chair or Dr. French, I'd be happy to try to answer any questions.
Okay, trustees, do you have any questions for Representative Crane?
Representative Crane, thank you for being here tonight. I have a question. So you're telling us the process that it just got out of the Senate committee and now it goes through. Do you have a time frame where, I mean, I know that's kind of a loaded question, but do you see this happening real quick or lots of debate on it coming up in both the House and the Senate? Or I'm just curious how long this might be out there in your laps.
Certainly, trustee, Madam Chair and trustee. So it has been an issue that we have actually talked with pre-session and finally got individuals that wanted to work on this issue and were concerned about this issue together on what we call language, which is the text of the bill. Can you guys agree to this? Do you not agree to this? Is this going to work in this situation? We finally got agreement on that. So that does take some time to do. I don't serve in the Senate, and they chose to start the bill in the Senate. So I can speak only to what would happen in the House. I've already talked with the chairman of the Education Committee in the House because of the situation that other districts as well as yours have been experiencing. This is something that she anticipates she will move very quickly when it reaches the House of Representatives. If I'm guessing, if you're asking, you know, we're gonna bet on when this thing's gonna get through. I don't think that there's gonna be a significant opposition to the legislation. They've done a pretty good job of dealing with individuals that are concerned about the legislation. I would guess in the next 2 weeks, it will probably be through the Senate and over to the House, and it will get an expedited. Chairman Yamamoto has already said this is going to move to the top of the agenda and to try to get this moved so that there's clarity and predictability for not only the citizens, but for the school boards that are having to wrestle with these type of issues. So I would hope that mid-March that this would be resolved.
Right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, I have a question. Representative Crane, thank you for coming tonight. If it hasn't, you said it's just gone to print. So is there actual verbiage that the public can go and review what is coming or what may be voted on in the Senate?
Madam Chair and Trustee Butler, yes. So they printed it today. Prior to the printing, it's not public. It's
Okay.
private. And so they made that official today. They printed that today. So it will be out on the state legislature's website and available for the public to look at it and be able to see exactly what the language looks like. But those that are interested in the topic, whether it's, you know, from a trustee perspective or from a citizen perspective, now need to come down to the legislative process when they announce this for a hearing and make their voice known. Do they like what the legislature has tried to come up with? Did it go far enough, or is it going to work in situations for district? And that's the type of you know, dialogue that will take place.
Great, thank you.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Yes.
Representative Crane, so do you know, does the bill have a number?
Madam Chair I'm sorry, I'm still in the rep mode. Trustee Manning, it will get assigned a bill number. I don't know. I was made aware of it late this afternoon. It was an afternoon issue that they dealt with in the Senate. And I don't know the protocol. Typically in the House, for us, it takes 24 hours for it to get a bill number. But I was told as I was walking out this evening that they were doing an evening session and trying to go ahead and get those bills out of committee up to the floor so it can get assigned to the committee that actually assigns it a bill number. So I don't have a bill number for you
Yeah, okay.
yet,
I'm sure
but
there's
on the
something there.
website, you can search, you know, it's been called, you know, the bathroom bill. That's kind of a term, or dealing with bathrooms or locker rooms. If you do a Google search or a search on the engine there of the website, it'll pull it right up.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you. I had a question for Superintendent French. You mentioned, Superintendent, that we're putting it on a pause, like we're pausing it. So have we had other policies that have been sitting in the proposed agenda that, you know, that haven't come to the first reading for the board, that, you know, we haven't seen it? Have we had those before?
Yeah, and I'm just take a moment. We appreciate the
I did.
legislatures helping address this issue for all school districts in the state of Idaho. So I mean, we appreciate that you'll have the discussion and that you're open to that dialogue. So thank you so much. And thanks to you and Representative Yamamoto for reaching out. We do appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you.